Massachusetts Journeyman Pipefitter Exam, heating, 406 degrees. The ASME high-pressure boiler code says that non-ferrous pipe or tubes shall not be used in the boiler proper for any service where the temperature exceeds how many degrees F. Mud drum. The bottom blow-down line of a high-pressure water tube boiler is connected to where on the boiler, siphon. The Borden tube in a steam pressure gauge is protected by a ______________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________ 2.5. Bottom blow-off maximum connection. 100. A 3/4 blow-off may be used on a high-pressure boiler if the boiler heating surface has less than _____________________________________ square feet on heating surface. 250. Cast iron maximum psi. Not be restricted or reduced. The discharge outlet of a safety valve must safety relieving capacity. The pipe sizes required for the boiler equalizer lined pipe between the steam outlet and the return line are based on ________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________Hangers used for the support of piping, inches and larger, shall be designed to permit adjustment after erection while supporting the load. Condensate in the steam line. Water hammer in steam lines is caused by what condition? 250 degrees. ASMEV maximum water temperature heating boiler. 1.5. The dial of the pressure gauge on a high-pressure boiler shall be graduated to no less than times the pressure at which the safety valve is set, any place above the lowest safe permissible water level and before the first stop valve. When installing a low water cutoff on a hot water heating boiler, you may install it ___________________________________________________________________________________________________________________level with a liquid. What is a spirit level? 4.5. 2 or more safety valves must be used on a steam heating boiler when the size of the boiler requires a safety or safety relief valve larger than how many inches in diameter, must be protected by a loop seal. The Borden tube of a steam pressure gauge up to 2 inch. Steam stop valve non-indicating. 700,000. The Massachusetts pipefitting license is required to work on heating systems with a BTU input greater than BTUs. 1/4. Gauge glass drains shall have an unrestricted drain opening of not less than _____________________________________________________________________________ inch, 1 inch. Bottom blow-off minimum connection. 3/4. 522 CMR 16.00 Automatic controls for automatically fired boilers, requires that when multiple pressure controls are mounted on or fed from manifold, the manifold and common source connection to the boiler shall be at least what pipe size, 4 inch. ASME.31.1 Power piping code limits the size of slip-on flanges to be used for boiler external piping. This size limitation is what pipe size and diameter. Chop saw. What is an abrasive saw? 3 inch. The ASME Power Piping Code B31.1 limits the size of ANSI Class 600 socket welded flanges for use in boiler external piping. What is the maximum size limitation? Air vents. At all high points of a chilled water system, install ________________________ 3/4. Each high-temperature water boiler shall have a bottom drain connection of at least NPS _____________________________________ inch in direct connection with the lowest water space practical. 3/4. Low water cutoff draw minimum connection. 250 degrees. The minimum temperature rating of all valves or cocks on a heating boiler shall be at least equal to _____________ degrees F. Nozzles or flanges. What cast iron item is not allowed on a high-pressure boiler? Over 400 psi, cast iron sectional/MAWP 30 psi. When do you need 2 sight glasses? 100. All valves and fittings on steam lines for boiler external piping of high-pressure boilers shall have a pressure rating of at least ________________________________________________________________________________________________________________sig. When a high-pressure boiler plant only has one boiler, which statement would be true? 2. If boiler drain lines are intended to be used both as drains and as blow-off, valves are required. A free blow drain placed between the stop valves. When 2 boiler stop valves are required on a high-pressure boiler, what shall be required? 100. ASME B31.1, Power Piping Code requires that the boiler blow-off fittings shall be steel and the thickness of pipe and fittings shall not be less than that of Schedule 80 pipe when the boiler pressure exceeds what pressure, sig, carried clear from running boards or platforms. All safety valve or safety relief valve discharges shall be so located or piped as to be which of the following? 840 degrees. When do brazing joints melt? Boiler, check valve. The required boiler feed water stop valve on a high-pressure boiler is located between the and the 5. A slow opening valve requires how many complete turns to be fully opened or closed? Auxiliary low water cutoff. Which device shall cause a safety shutdown, lockout, requiring a manual reset? 3/4. The water column shall be fitted with a drain cock or drain valve to install a pipe of at least what size in inches? 3 inch. Socket welded fitting maximum size 20. An altitude gauge is required on a hot water supply boiler when altitude is more than feet. Considered non-boiler external piping. Boiler blowdown tanks are no lower than the visible part of the gauge glass. When piping up low water fuel cutoff devices to a boiler, the devices must be piped to what height in relation to the level of the gauge glass? 3/4. Control manifold minimum connection. 2 stop valves having an ample free blow drain between them. When 2 or more high-pressure boilers are connected to a common steam header, the connection from each boiler having a manhole opening shall be fitted with 1 inch. According to Section 1, ASME Code, what is the minimum size of pipes connecting the water column to a boiler in inches? Are readily accessible for internal inspection and cleaning. The steam and water connections to a water column or a water gauge glass on a high-pressure boiler shall be such that they ________________________________________________________ Cast iron pipe can be used to carry steam at pressures up to what pressure, sig. Gate. The most appropriate valve application for a surface blow-off system would be a valve, ball valve. Which valve is not appropriate as a boiler steam outlet valve on a high-pressure boiler? Protect a steam pressure gauge. A siphon is used to 1/4. Minimum size siphon non-ferrous. In the return pipe connection. The heating boiler code requires that when a stop valve is used in the supply pipe connection of a single steam heating boiler, there shall be an additional stop valve placed 30. The ASME code for heating boilers says that an ASME code, Section 8 expansion tank is required on a hot water boiler when the boiler pressure exceeds what pressure, sig. As short and straight as possible. The discharge pipe of a high-pressure safety valve shall be which of the following? First stop valve. An ASME code stamp is required for work on the high-pressure main steam line of a single boiler installation from the boiler proper outlet and out to which of the following? Thermometer. What item is not common practice to use in piping up a reducing station? 21. The maximum suggested pipe support spacing, span, for 6-inch pipe for steam, gas or air service is ____________________________ feet. Recover steam and condensate. The purpose of a flash tank is to ___________________________________________________________________________________________________________________ 1/2. Sight glass minimum connection. 2.5. Surface blowdown maximum connection. 3/4. What is the minimum size of the drain pipe and the blow-off valve required on a low water cutoff that has a separate float chamber? _______________________________ inches. Pressure stamped on the safety valve. The minimum pressure rating of all valves or cocks on a heating boiler shall be at least equal to the ________________________________________________________________________________________________ All gauge glass connections shall be not less than what pipe size? 2 inch. When piping up a boiler gauge glass to a water tube boiler, the lowest visible part of the water gauge glass shall be at least how many inches above the lowest permissible water level, determined by the boiler manufacturer? 250 degrees. The ASME high-pressure boiler code limits the use of non-ferrous valves. What is the temperature limitation for 150 psi class bronze threaded gate valve? Thermometer. Which is mandatory to have installed on a separate connection on a hot water heating boiler? 1/2. Takeoff for control line minimum connection. 350 psi. Malleable iron maximum psi. 81. The pipefitter license is governed by Chapter 146 of MGL. The section of this law is section _______________________ of the MGL, 3 inch. The largest safety valve that may be attached to a steam drum of a high-pressure boiler by threading is what pipe size? Reduces the turbulence of the water to give a more accurate reading in the gauge glass. Which of the following statements is true regarding a boiler water column? 500 square feet of heating surface, 2 means of water feed. When do you need 2 or more heating safeties? Gate. The valve that offers the least resistance to flow is the ___________________________________________ valve. White-eyed globe. The appropriate valve application for a boiler blow-off valve on a high-pressure boiler is ________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________ 3 inch. Threaded safety valve maximum connection. 4. At the boiler proper outlet. The automatic non-return valve on a high-pressure boiler is located ___________________________________________________________________________________________ According to the ASME high-pressure boiler code, a boiler that has more than how many square feet of heating surface must have 2 or more safety valves? 2.5 and over. Hangers must be adjusted over. Cast iron. The installation of which type of safety relief valve body for high-temperature water boilers is prohibited? 4.5. Flanged safety valve maximum connection. Steel. When the pressure exceeds 100 psi, the boiler blow-off fittings shall be ____________________________________________________________________2.5. The maximum size of a surface blow-off connection shall not exceed underscore 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 inches. Protect the boiler from excess pressure. The purpose of a safety valve is to underscore 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 full area of the valve outlet. When a discharge pipe is used on a safety valve, the cross-sectional area shall not be less than which of the following: the area of the valve inlet, the opening or connection between the boiler and the safety valve or safety relief valve shall be at least which of the following: 1/2. When piping a steam pressure gauge, what is the minimum pipe size connection to the boiler where steel or wrought iron pipe or tubing is to be used? 1/4. Sight glass drain minimum connection. 212 degrees. At what temperature on acetylene bottle do safety plugs melt? To an internal pipe in the boiler. Which form of safety valve mounting is not permissible in the heating boiler code? High-temperature water boiler safety relief valves. In accordance with ASME Code, Section 1, if a muffler is used on a safety valve or safety relief valve, it shall have sufficient outlet area to prevent back pressure from interfering with the proper operation and discharge capacity of the valve. Mufflers shall not be used under which of the following conditions? 1 inch. Water column minimum connection. Cross T fitting. What type of fitting must be placed in the water piping connection at every right angle to facilitate cleaning and inspection of a water column or low water cutoff? 3/4. For high-pressure boilers having a water heating surface of more than 100 square feet of heating surface, the feed connection to the boiler shall not be smaller than what pipe size? OSNY valve or lever fitting. Shut-off valves shall not be used in the pipe connections between a boiler and a water column unless they are what type of valves, which must be locked and sealed open? 50%. When more than 2 high-pressure safety valves of different sizes are mounted singly on a boiler, the relieving capacity of the smaller valve shall not be less than underscore 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 percent of that of the larger valve. Never. The size of bottom blowdown lines can be reduced under what conditions? 406 degrees. What is the maximum temperature limitation for non-ferrous pipe to be used directly attached to a boiler?